Alright, welcome back to another video where we're going to discuss Bitcoin's price action along with other charts related to it to find out kind of where we are in the market right now and what we can expect going forward. Starting off over here with Bitcoin, we do see, after rallying up around 20% off the lows, now getting back up to these highs. We are currently still kind of struggling at this value area high, but we have gone ahead and somewhat backtested the value area low, which is what we wanted to see to the downside, and we're finding nice supportive buyers already. We can see these wicks off the lows, but we don't quite have any bow divs or anything like that. We got lower lows on price and lower lows on RSI. We do have higher highs on price though and lower highs on RSI. So we actually had a regular bearish divergence on the hourly time frame there, but structurally this still looks good. The fact that we're holding value right now, I would not be surprised if Bitcoin is in the honey badger mode where it just kind of disrespects any TA and just continues on up higher, especially just how it's structurally shaping up on the higher term time frames with this nice kind of double bottom formation. You go to the weekly time frame, once again nice double bottom formation. This is just set up to go. It's kind of now or never for Bitcoin. Yeah, I see the case where we roll back down and then head back up, right, fill the CME gap, but we had talked about in yesterday's video how we made a CME gap back in 2020 when it started its bull run to the upside. So we don't necessarily need to go fill those immediately. That'll probably just fill when we do enter the bear market, which I do think is going to come sooner rather than later, not necessarily this month or anything, but definitely within the next year or so. I don't think we're going to make it to the end of 2025. I think the bull run will probably end within the next couple of months to maybe spring of 2025, something like that, but we're not trying to predict the future here. We'll just have to wait and see how that all plays out. Something we're still watching is, can we make a higher high here on the price action? That would be confirmation of a macro structural change here, and a big confirmation we are probably going to hunt this liquidity at all-time highs. Let's see if we can get the higher high here, right? Higher high than we had back in August, and then once we can do that, we will have the structural change of a higher high, higher low, and then we will go ahead and send to all-time highs after that, in my opinion. And there's a good chance we don't even get the higher low within here. It's just going to be a nice parabolic run up into all-time highs, and then once we get up here, that's where we got to be cautious, but we'll talk about that when we get there. Right now my thoughts remain the same on Bitcoin. Extremely bullish, but just don't be fumbling into leveraged positions or anything like that. Just to sit back, relax, watch the show. Should be pretty exciting times ahead of us going into election season. Now let's talk about something we haven't looked at in a while, and that's going to be the USDT dominance. So the stablecoin dominance, the more this goes down, the more money is flowing into crypto. The more this goes up, the more money is flowing into stablecoins. So we want this to go down. That's bullish, as you see back here. When we had our big run at the beginning of 2024, end of 2023, USDT dominance was falling. We see, when we entered the bear market last cycle, this rose, right? So whenever this goes down, it is good for us. So we want this to continue to head down, and we are seeing a nice topping structure after hitting the support resistance flip. So you can see this got flipped into support, 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 support. Then it flips. This is now resistance, and it is resistance again. You can see this with a nice box that I've drawn out here. Nice support, resistance, flip a level that we have flipped into resistance once again. So I think that's a good chance this is more of a macro high on the USDT dominance, and we can actually break this low. Just like Bitcoin, how we need to see structural change, we need to see structural change on the USDT dominance. So let's see if we can get a lower low there, and that will be more of a confirmation that we will go ahead and actually hunt down much lower, signaling money is flowing into our risk on assets and not just being held in stable coins. I do think this chart is shaping up really good, and there's some more confluence for the bulls out there. It's an interesting time in the markets though, because we do have gold continuing to go absolutely parabolic while you have other assets going up as well. So it's an all market rally. People just do not trust the dollar right now, and the fact that gold is going up means there is more of a rotation into safe haven assets. With the Fed cutting, we do know that shows weakness in the economy. There is a recession pending, in my opinion, and I think a lot of people are pricing in some bad times ahead, and that's why you're seeing gold outperform everything else, because money is flowing into safer assets as well, just to hedge. So actually very similar to what happened before the 2008 great financial crisis. Gold goes on a rip, S&P runs up for a secondary high, and then we have some risk on assets start running as well. And I think we're at a very similar time. We got a couple months left for assets to just go parabolic, and then lights will be out very soon. But that's really all you need for the altcoin market. As we talked about last cycle, this entire parabola here on the altcoin market from the lows of the bear market, well, I guess kind of the breakout point of the bear market, this low to high here only took around 100 days, so that's just over 3 months. So I do think this time will be no different in the speed that we get up there, and I think it'll just be a couple months as such that we will go ahead and potentially break all-time highs here on the altcoin market, or potentially just do a bigger retrace, right? Don't be surprised that we just come up to value area high and then it's lights out from there. We will be watching this carefully, but either way you put it, I do think there's some pretty exciting times ahead of us. Once again though, we just need to see structural change on the altcoin market. Let's see if we can get the higher high here, break the $620 billion market cap, because this is the value area low of the previous bull market range. So if we can get above that and flip it into support, then that will signal value area high up here at around $1 trillion market cap. And something else that's nice for the altcoin market is Bitcoin dominance has continued to come down today. So we'll see if this is the top of Bitcoin dominance. So we'll see how this plays out. I think to confirm this as being the high, we want to accept back below this range. So if we just kind of flip that into support, that's not going to be confirmation. But if we can get under this, then yeah, you're looking to go ahead and probably have the top marked for Bitcoin dominance. And I do expect this to come down pretty steadily once this does start making the lower lows and whatnot, because altcoin season is ahead of us. And if my thesis does play out, that'll happen sooner rather than later. If we only have a couple months left, then those altcoins got to start ripping to the upside now, which we are already seeing. We're seeing a lot of coins start doing 10, 20, 30%. I've seen coins do 300% in my portfolio over the last week. Well, maybe not some, just one, but still. Let's go ahead and talk about traditional finance now, because we do have the Russell at a pretty critical point, right? We rejected the value area high again. We talked about how if we tap this level again, it's probably going to signal it will break, right? The more times you tap a level, the more times it is likely to actually break to the upside or downside. And right now we're at the high, so probably going to break out to the upside, but we could see a pullback to the point of control. Let's see if we can flip that into support now. We already flipped the value area low into support momentarily. We rejected point of control, but we haven't really back tested it. So we want to get back to this level after breaking through, and then we can go ahead and march on up. If we can go ahead and make an all-time high here on the Russell, which we are very close to, right? We're very close to an all-time high over here, then that is going to signal just more confidence for your altcoin season, because this is more risk on assets in the stock market, so they are correlated with the altcoin market in my opinion. And I do think we're getting pretty close here to a breakout on the Russell. So yeah, Bitcoin continues to show extreme strength in the market right now. Really, all of your assets are showing a lot of strength right now, and I continue to be bullish. Case remains the same. We do still have a CME gap to the downside, but other than that, I don't really have any big reasons that we would see a pullback here on the price action, and I would expect for us to just continue the parabola to the upside. But if you have any questions about anything I talked about, or just want to join the community for this channel, link to my Discord is in the description down below. Also down below is a VIP Discord. That is a work in progress, so it's 25% off right now. Using the code down below. It is not a signals group, it's just to provide value. So there's trading guides, we do weekly meetings, etc. Just click on the link, you can learn more about it, decide if it's actually worth your money or not. Also down below there are my exchange partners, which all offer their own perks and benefits and exclusive rewards and bonuses for those of you that use my referral links to sign up. But with that being said, thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video.